Hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Welcome to IFL Inspirations for Your Light. I am happy that you've joined me. It's a Saturday evening. It's 8:11 p.m. Eastern Time, and I'm happy you're here. If this is the first time that you're visiting with me on the channel, just grab your smartphone, launch the camera app, point it over to that QR code like so, touch the yellow oval, and you'll get my link tree. If you're not watching me, but you are listening to this on an audio podcast only, then go to believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing creations. And I want to thank you, whether you're here at 8:11 p.m. or 8:11 a.m. or 12 noon or 12 midnight or 3 a.m. or 3 p.m., whenever you choose to watch. Thank you so much for making Inspirations for Your Life a daily part of your start for motivation. And let's get into the master topic. We have a really great one tonight. You ready for it, everyone? Understanding why releasing control will give you more of it. Series 2 means we're in the second year, show 30, episode number 1, everyone. I am happy about that. All right, so this is something that I think a lot of people will be like, what does it mean? And so I want to share a definition from, we all know Merriam-Webster online. So I'm going to share a definition from their system for control. And control, according to them, is a verb. It is to exercise restraining or directing influence over, to regulate, like controlling one's anger, to have power over, to rule, to reduce the incidence or severity of, especially to innocuous levels, to incorporate suitable controls in, like a controlled experiment, etc. And so, in order to understand control and what happens, I think we need to first think about how do people relate to control. So, what do most people believe when we think about control? Well, I'll tell you, they believe that they need to have as much control as they can, get more, and that they never should lose control. Because they feel that in order to be kingpin on the top, they have to be in control. That's what most people believe. And that might sound like the way you've been taught from your parents or from other people. And you might think there's nothing wrong with that. It's just some people get a little bit too zealous with it. And when they get too zealous with it, you know what happens? It backfires. We'll talk more about that later in the week because we have a whole week to talk about it. We started just today with the master topic on Saturday at day 1, and we go all the way through to Friday, day 7. So thinking about what most people think is that you have to have control. You have to control everything and anything. And if you don't, you just better figure a way how to get control of it. Because if you don't, then you're going to be behind. Well, it's not exactly true. And we'll talk more about that. So the other thing that's important is understanding who has control. You see, what we're going to learn throughout the next couple of days is that there is some type of control that is only for a short period of time. There's another type of control that lasts indefinitely. And then there's a type of control that exists that is more of abuse. And there's other types as well. But I think if we understand that control needs to be administered with respect, and people that are under control need to respect who is in control. Now, does that mean that we're going to never get jerks in control? Of course not. Does that mean that people getting elected to public office will never, let's say, be wrong? Of course not. Does it mean that they're always going to be right? Of course not. Does it mean that by these people being in power, they are going to do what they feel is best for them, but not what's best for you or the community? Absolutely. So I think what happens when you first fall into power, it's challenging. So what happens when a new person gets power they never had before? I like to say that that's power going to your head. That's what I like to say about that. And, that might sound like, I don't know, might sound like something crazy, but it's not crazy, ladies and gentlemen. It's absolutely not crazy. And the reason it's not crazy is because this happens time in and time out every single day. And you might be saying, well, gee, I don't get it. I don't understand it. But it happens. And so if we can just understand that how our life works, okay, is people are sometimes all about the power, okay? They're all about the power. And so why? Well, they're about the power because of what's happened, okay? And that might sound a little bit crazy, but it's absolutely the truth. It's the truth. It's when power goes to your head. It's like we turn off our heart and we go right to our head because we feel the head is the dominance. The head needs to do everything. But the head is sometimes wrong. Okay. The head is sometimes wrong. And even the smallest dose of power can change a person literally in seconds. Now, someone gets a promotion or maybe some fame, and they suddenly appear like this pompous prick. You've heard that before. And if you ask a psychologist, he or she may tell you that the powerful they become, the more jerky they become. They don't have the time to fully adapt to what's going on, and they're like a kid in a candy store. All right. If the kid's never been able to go to the candy store and get candy, what happens the first time you let a kid into a candy store? What happens? Well, they go crazy, right? They want to taste everything. Their eyes are all over the place. They're absolutely insane. So when we say be like a kid in a candy store, it means to be excited in a very full of life way. You're very silly, but yet you're so full of life because of all this candy that you could have. So power comes to those that obviously earn it, and power comes to people that don't earn it. And the challenge when people don't earn it, they don't understand what the power means. So generally, I always say if you're working in a department and the person that's above you has all this power and you're working below them and you understand how the power works and how the impact is of other people and you and what it means to your clients, I think it will really be the best thing. How are you, Ken? Great to see you, John Morley. I savor the flavor of your awesomeness and you, sir, for sharing your delectable nuggets of wisdom, information, inspiration, encouragement, enthusiasm, knowledge, motivation, guidance, sir. Wow, that was a lot, but thank you so much. We're talking about power. Now, I know this probably happens with you in the lab, whether there are people that you report to, or maybe there's people under you. Power is something that is good, but if we, let's say, never went to the candy store before, and suddenly we get that opportunity, right? Or we've never been on a roller coaster before, and the first time we go there, or the first time we go to an arcade, right? And this can happen with a variety of things. It doesn't just have to happen with kids in a candy store, but that's a popular one. And so when this happens, it's like this experience for them that they don't understand. It's like an adult being in a home improvement store and they go nuts because they can have all these power tools. They're like, that's kind of like the kid in the candy store for the adult because the adult doesn't care about candy. They care about all these tools and how they can have these tools, and these tools can help fulfill their testosterone, and it can help them appear so much better, right? Because with this tool, I'm going to be the king of the jungle, or I'm going to be the chainsaw hero, or I'm going to be the best builder on my block, and I'll show everyone else. So that's a type of power that goes to people's heads. Okay. A lot of researchers put participants in the mindset of feeling either powerful or powerless. Then they asked the powerless group to write a diary about a time they depended on others for help. The powerful group wrote entries about the times they were calling the shots. Everybody else watched a simple video. In it, an anonymous hand squeezed a rubber ball a handful of times, sort of like, without even thinking about it. While the video ran, the team tracked the participants' brains looking at a special region called the mirror system. And so I think this is really important. And the mirror system is important because it contains neurons that become active when you squeeze a rubber ball. And when you watch someone else squeeze a rubber ball, it's the same thing with picking up a cup of coffee, hitting a baseball, flying a kite, or clicking on that pen. When somebody is waiting profusely, very impatiently, they click the pen or tap it. That could be annoying. So when someone has a feeling of power or powerlessness, does this change how the mirror system responds to someone else performing a simple action? It turns out feeling powerless boosted the mirror system. People's empathy went up highly. And also, when people were feeling powerful, the signal wasn't very high at all. So a lot of times you might be in a situation. It could be, thank you so much for the like. Really appreciate that. It could be maybe that you are, I'm going to say, doing something at the moment. And so when you do something at the moment, you feel that by you having power, and we're going to be talking about this all week, when you have power, you feel that there can be no wrong because, hey, you're the one in charge. You're the dictator. But we'll talk why that's not such a great thing. Now, there is good power and there's bad power. But it's really not the power itself that's good or bad. It's how the person is choosing to exercise it. And I think, as I was saying before, if you're working in a department and you're working below a few people that have this superior power, and you're on the, let's say, short list to be one of the ones considered for the promotion to someone else in that higher power than you, I think when you get that power, you're not going to act like a kid in the candy store because you understand how that power not only influences you, but other people on the team and how it directly impacts the rest of the company and, of course, the clients or customers you serve. And I think that's the problem. So when the kid goes in the candy store, like, oh my gosh, I'm just like amazing. But really, it's not amazing. It's the fact that they've never been in a candy store before, or the first time they go to an amusement park, it's like, oh my gosh, I got to go here, I got to go here, I got to go there, right? Got to go everywhere. Excuse me. But I think when we understand that we have to digest power slowly and understanding that with great power comes great responsibility. If we understand that, we're on the way to starting to learn how to use power appropriately. Now, why do many local councils and mayor chambers not use power properly? Well, because of either nepotism or because their friend, and they want to appear, they're in charge and they can call the shots. And yes, they can. But when you call the shots and those shots are not the greatest thing for the council, for the citizens at large, for the rest of the town or borough, it'll come back and bite you later. Maybe you'll get complaints from people. Maybe you won't get in the next time you run for election, right? There could be those situations. And I feel that power in itself causes people to get fearful. And power should never be used in that manner. And we're going to talk about those different types of power and stuff like that as we go through the week. We'll probably talk about one type a day starting with tomorrow. And so understanding power is really a mindset. And like I said before, the people who were in power, and I started taking a pen, let's just say, and I started, doing this, clicking it. You can hear me doing that, right? Or doing this, tapping the pen, right? Or, some people do this. What are you doing? Stop it. Oh, what? Might drive some people crazy. Or maybe they take their fingers. No, I'm not going to do it. And they you can just know they'll screech them on the chalkboard. So do people do this just to screw with you? Or do they do this to test how powerful they are? See, I don't think those people are powerful. I think those people are abusing power. And eventually, that kind of power will probably be taken away from them. Because it's not power they truly earned. It's power that they were given. We're going to talk more about power as we get on through the week. But I feel that understanding this theme is that understanding why releasing control will give you more of it. Because everyone believes that if you hold on to everything, if you get control of every little thing, you will have full control. So how do you handle what I like to call the control kings? Really simple. Smile. Be polite. Do what they ask you. And document everything. And when something doesn't go the right way, you go back and say, hey, this is what you told me to do. This is exactly what you said to do on this date and this time. And then keep a log. And then when you get in front of that board that you're in front of and they have so much power, it's like, well, Jim, I did everything you told me to do. And I documented everything you said. I kept a copy of your emails, and then I added that to an Excel sheet. And you can see here, Mr. Controller, that I was just doing everything that Jim told me to do. Even if it was something I didn't want to do, I just did whatever he said, because whenever I came up with an idea, he always told me that I was an idiot and that I didn't know what I was doing. Well, I never said that. Pretty cool, right? I will tell you that when you start to appreciate power, you gain more power. And this is what we're going to be talking about all week. And we're going to get into it very, very deeply. So when power goes to your head, it shuts out your heart. So that means that you're acting without empathy. So do you run a business with empathy? Yes. But this also gets to another premise that we should never make decisions based on our feelings 100%, especially in business, right? We have to look at the logical side and the emotional side. That's really, really key. We could have a whole discussion just on that. But this week's conversation is about understanding why releasing control will give you more of it. That's what it's about this week. And if you're gaining that control king, do exactly what I told you to do. Never challenge them. Document everything. Bring it to a meeting. And when you do, guess what's going to happen? That person is going to be, how can I say, evaluated, put on the stand, because after all, they were telling you what to do and they abused their power. You knew more of what to do and you weren't in power. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, been a pleasure, been an honor to be with you this fantastic, amazing Saturday evening. I hope you'll like, love, support the channel. Definitely comment below, tag your friends, colleagues, and associates. Share this out with everyone you know on social media. And then, ladies and gentlemen, go to my YouTube channel, John Space C Space MRLAY Space Serial Entrepreneur. Look for that key phrase, help keep our content free. Make the choice, ladies and gentlemen, to buy my team and I a cup of coffee, a bowl of fruit, or a scrumptious plate of yummy desserts. Either way, you know we're going to be grateful for those pennies and dollars that you invest into us. We'll put it to new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, even new facilities to give you the most jaw-dropping, motivational content to empower you to have a life that you never dreamed was possible. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your evening. And you know what? I'm going to see you tomorrow. So take care.